Hello there, IELTS General students, and in this lesson we're going to begin your studying for IELTS reading. And today we'll be doing a full overview of the different sections of the IELTS Reading General test so that you can better understand what you will need to do and what you will see on the day of your test. So let's begin. The IELTS General Reading Test is taken over 60 minutes. That's the same for the academic too. So 60 minutes for IELTS General Reading. There are 3 sections of the General Reading Test, and these different sections give you different kinds of texts. So it's not all going to be the same kind of text. You're not just going to get loads of magazine articles to read. It's going to be different kinds of text within these 3 sections. So let's take a look at what the 3 sections are. Up first in section 1, we have Everyday English for Social Settings and Daily Life. So this is more focused on literature and reading articles that you might see just in your general average daily life within, living in an English-speaking country. You'll see 2 or 3 short pieces of writing passages total. So within section 1, there'll be 2 or 3 smaller passages of writing about different topics and maybe even different text types. So within these 2 or 3 short pieces, you might see some magazines, some advertisements like flyers that you might see, or it could be brochures or similar sort of things like that. Again, section 1 focuses on everyday English. Section 2 is a slightly different focus, and it's work related. Now, it kind of makes sense because IELTS General is all about living in another country, working or training in another country, so the reading mirrors that. So section 2, work-related English reading passages. Now, previously I said there might be 3, but it's very rare. There's normally 2 short reading passages within section 2. So 2 or 3, section 1, pretty much always really 2 reading passages for section 2. And within section 2, text types you might see training materials, or even like job welcome packs, or even job applications, or work handbooks, employee handbooks. So anything really related to employment and work. Okay, finally, section 3 is a reading passage in mixed topics. So it can be about anything, general interest, articles, scientific environment, travel, loads of different stuff really, and you will just see one longer passage. Section 1, 2 or 3, section 2, 2 passages, section 3, just 1. So it'll be slightly longer too. And they're kind of scientific papers, published articles, non-fiction, so it's not like stories, it's more like sort of talking about environment, travel, food, all that sort of stuff, kind of general interest reading passages. So there you have it. Of course, in this section of IELTS General studying, we're going to look at lots of examples for the different sections so you know what text types there are. We'll also look at all the different question types that you will see. But there you have it. That is the 3 sections of the IELTS General Reading Test. And it's good that you know how things are broken down so that you feel more comfortable when navigating the different text types. Now, what I wanted to say next is a couple of quick sort of important points. So the whole test takes 60 minutes. I'll also give you a lesson on time management, but generally speaking, just quickly now, roughly try and spend around 20 minutes on each section. So this is something that you personally will need to manage, roughly around 20 minutes on each section. There are a total of 14 different question types. Some of them are more common than others. For example, multiple choice is very common. You're pretty much always going to see at least multiple choice 1 or 2 times. Whereas some of the other question types are a little bit less common. You might not see them quite as often. So just a few key bits of information. 60 minutes, manage the time, so 20 minutes on each section that we just explored. And so you know there are 14 different question types that aren't really too different in terms of what you might imagine. Multiple choice, finishing sentences, missing words, maybe even matching paragraphs to headings. So you might be given a list of headings for what possible names for paragraphs might be, and then you've got to match them up with actually the paragraph, these kinds of questions. But we'll explore them in more detail. We'll go through each of them, see some examples, we'll practice them, and then we'll have some practice tests ready for you as well. Okay, so that is a run through of some of the key points of the different sections, as well as some of the key information you need to know for IELTS reading. Now let's jump into your next lesson.